What's up? What is up, everybody? How's everybody doing? Today we're going to be talking about phone flipping. What phones would I be flipping this week? Phone flipping, number one, is not something that is going to make you rich if you are looking to become wealthy. If you are somebody that scrolls on your phone on a consistent basis, I'm sure you have seen phone flipping. If you look into reselling, if you look into income streams, if you look into all of those different aspects, right? You probably have seen somebody in a nice fancy car telling you how much they make from phone flipping and that they can duplicate it for you. You're probably seeing people on YouTube talking about, hey man, I make a bunch of money phone flipping, and they probably show you a whole bunch of phones. You might see somebody overseas that's phone flipping and they're selling on Best Buy and doing all of this extra stuff, right? It's great, cool. But I'm here to give you the real. I'm here to tell you the truth. I'm here to actually break down phone flipping in its totality. I'm here to actually show you guys what to flip right now. I have a series of videos coming out on my YouTube about phone flipping and what phones to basically get. I'm giving you guys free game because, number one, it's not hard. But number two, a lot of people try to phone flip but don't see success because they have no direction. They're just told via YouTube videos to just buy Facebook ad campaigns and you'll be successful. And that could not be any more far from the truth, because phone flipping is not about ads. It's not about promotion. It's more so about, one, do you have the negotiation skills to be able to acquire phones for extra cheap, right? Because understand this, people are going to be trying to sell phones for cheap, as they should, right? And you got to be, well, they're going to try to sell it for more and you're going to be trying to get it for cheap, but they might price gouge. They might have the wrong understanding of what a device is worth, and you got to be the one to talk them down for you to be able to get that phone for cheap, right? That's the name of the game. The name of the game is buy the phone for as low as possible and sell it as high as possible. A lot of people wonder how I have 50 plus buyers in my pocket, and it's not because I am special. It's not because I have any special techniques. Well, that's not true. It's because I network. It's because I do good business. I get a lot of phones. I don't get a lot of phones myself. I get a lot of phones from my network, my people. I am an outsourcing machine when it comes to a bunch of different income streams I've done, because what I do is I'll master an income stream. I'll get really good at it, and then I'll teach somebody how to do it, and I'll have them do it for me. Not because I'm the boss and I'm just that good, but because I understand that I can't be everywhere at all times. I am not an octopus. I only have 2 arms, okay? Now, by the way, we will be going live every day this week at 8:15 sharp, okay? And it will be different things. So tomorrow we will be talking about how I flip the phone on, how I flip phones on OfferUp, okay? A full walkthrough of how I actually flip the phone. So when I buy the phone, get the phone, how do I sell a phone? So you can sell a phone to consumers or buyers. I'm going to break down how I sell those phones to consumers and buyers. Today, we're going to be talking about how we source the phone. So number one, it's all about a system, all right? I'm not going to be on here really, really long. I am going to be here on here giving you guys direct information, all right? So if you are a phone flipper and you're looking to flip phones, pay attention, because I'm giving you mad information right now. Number one, what I do is I make sure, and my students as well, the students that are successful, thriving, they do this too. I make sure I hold myself accountable to a certain amount of numbers that I'm offering. So prime example, every week on Sunday, I plan out exactly how many phone offers I want to make the upcoming week. But it also depends on how much money I got to spend. So now, for everybody out there that is asking, well, how much money do you need to phone flip? So this is like the number one question people that are scared ask. And I can tell when somebody is scared to flip phones by when they first approach me, they're asking me, hey, how much does it cost? How much do I need? I can tell you're scared, and you're also scared because you don't know if that investment is going to be worth it. So what I will say is when I first started phone flipping, I remember it like yesterday, I was scared shitless out of my mind for me to spend money out of my pocket on a phone that I have no clue if it works, if it's going to stay working, if somebody's going to buy it. And it was an iPhone 5C, I believe, right? Those colorful iPhones. But see, when I brought that phone, I had to believe in myself. I knew for a fact that I had to make my mind up that even if this phone doesn't sell to the guy down the street or the guy across from me, I got to make sure it sells to someone. Now, back when I started phone flipping, it was like 2015, 2014. There was not really a heavy social media presence selling phones. So what I did was I had to literally go and meet up with people and promote and put up signs and things of that nature. So that's what I did, right? I was a hustler. Like from the rip, I went and actually sought out people to buy phones. Now we got it really easy these days where you have people that are easily accessible and they want phones from the rip, right? So what I recommend is for you to every single day of the week, make sure you're setting exactly how many offers you want to make to somebody to buy a phone. So what I mean by that is how many offers are you going to do a day to try and convert on phones? Now, phone flipping is all about conversion. It's not about price. It's not about how much you're willing to spend. It's not about who is nice and who's mean. It's all about how you're going to convert. So one thing I would say to everybody out there is if you're looking to start hitting the ground running, one, make sure you got at least $300, okay? $200 is okay, but it's tight. $300, you'll be able to get a good phone and be able to build your cash. Now, you want to make sure that you are very responsible with the money that you have. Now, if I say I'm flipping $300, I'm flipping $300. That means I'm not touching anything more than what the money I just said I'm going to flip is. So I'm not going to go from 300 to 700 just because I feel like I'm that man or I want to duplicate or replicate what somebody on social media is doing, right? So the reason I tell you guys to have a change fund, and what that change fund is going to be a shoebox full of the $300 or a bank account with that $300 in it, or maybe a wallet with $300 in it. You're going to stay with your money that you want to invest. You're going to keep it, I hope, in cash. Don't put it in the bank, but try to keep it in cash, because when you need the money, sometimes you can't access the money when you're dealing with a bank. So all of my change funds are going to be cash, right? Like I only flip phones with cash. I don't flip phones and say, hey, I'll Zelle you or something like that, because of multiple reasons, okay? There could be a really great deal right around the corner from you, but you don't have enough bread to go ahead and flip that phone and you're going to be sick, right? It happened to me. Or you can have somebody that's willing to sell you a bunch of phones and you about to make 10K profit, but you can't get enough money out the ATM because all the banks is closed and the ATM has a certain withdrawal limit. This happened to me as well, where I had to actually call corporate and get I had to request a limit increase. And I was able to flip phones. I made 10K profit flipping phones in one day, but it wasn't just by myself. Let's make that clear, okay? And I try to make that very clear for you guys, because, again, if you're somebody watching and you're trying to phone flip and you're trying to become a phone flipper and you're being finessed by all of these people trying to tell you that you could do this by yourself, that's false. Now, you could do it by yourself, but you're going to hit a limit. You're going to hit a ceiling, right? And that ceiling you're going to hit is going to probably be like $2K a month, $3K a month, if that, all right? So what I recommend, have that $300. Make sure that you're making a certain amount of offers a day. If I was to give you an example, me personally, sorry guys, I'm trying to make 10 offers a day, at least. On a good day, I'm making 10 in the morning and 10 at night. Now, that's 20 offers a day, right? So that's 100 offers 5 days out of the week. Now, if I do that, then I'm tapping more into the law of averages. Now, what the heck do I mean by law of averages? So the law of averages is something that a lot of sellers or people that are selling outdoors use when they're door knocking. So you'll have somebody do loops on your block, which means they're knocking on your door, but then they'll go ahead and they might knock on your door again 4 days from the last time they were in your area. It's called a door loop. It's called a loop, where people that knock door to door, they utilize that system, and they also have the law of averages. The more doors that I knock on, the more I'm willing, or the more I can possibly convert. And it's the same thing with phone flipping. The more offers that you make, the more potential you have to convert. Now, when it comes to conversion, you have to be very, very careful that you know the value of these devices that you are approaching. This is where the price list comes into play. Now, if you're somebody out there that don't want to spend money on a price list and you want to get a free price list, I am happy for you, right? Like, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with going ahead and getting a free price list. The only thing I would say is just remember that a free price list won't give you market value. It will give you the value of that reselling company. Most companies that have free price lists are companies that don't have to pay buyers. So they're companies that are usually like resellers in the States, okay? Now, it's nothing wrong with that, but if you guys want to get a price list that has market value, of course, I have the buyer's phone flipping price list on hustlertaughtme.com with 50 wholesale buyers on one price list. It's an auction style where we get the buyers to compete against each other. But the reason I'm saying this is because it's really important for you guys to make sure that you are buying phones at market value or even lower. And the reason you want to buy phones at market value is because the worst thing that you could do as a phone flipper is overpay for a phone. When you start overpaying for phones, you start losing money immediately. And remember, the point of phone flipping is when I go ahead and spend my bread, I want to get my money back plus more, right? So if I buy an iPhone 15 Pro Max for $300, that's all on my change fund. But I expect for that $300 to turn into $400 or to even turn into just $360, right? That's how you flip your bread. But if you hit it with a bad deal, that $300 can go all the way down to $200, $250, and now your change fund is depleted. That's why it's important for you to buy phones at the right profit or right price or right market value. Now, I've heard a lot of people say this theory, and I want to debunk it live because a lot of people think that, hey, I could just judge how much I buy a phone for off of eBay. Now, let me explain to you why you can't. If I go ahead and type in iPhone 14 right here, right, iPhone 14 Pro Max, no matter what, right, you see that there is an eBay refurbished seller, and it is $569, but that doesn't matter, right? Some people will even just say, okay, I see $569, great, that's what the phone is worth, so that I'll pay $500 or I'll pay $450, right? But that doesn't even tell you the market value. Or some people go to sold and they go to see what phone sold, but here's where you can actually see why this is not smart. Because the iPhone 14 Pro Max 128 right here that sold May 5th, which is today, sold for $450. If you remember what I just said, guys, I just said that if I was just a regular person utilizing eBay as a scale to determine if I should buy phones for this price or that price, I would have brought the phone that I just saw or wherever on whatever platform for $450, but this person just sold theirs for $450, which means they got it for cheaper, right? So then you look down and then you start seeing more. So for iPhone 14 Pro Max for $414, $439, $469. So you're seeing a whole bunch of different prices, and these prices that you're seeing are all based upon consumer value. They're not based upon buyer value. I'll explain to you why. Because in this buyer's price list that I had, right, this buyer's price list shows you the market value plus you get access to 50 verified buyers, right? These buyers have already determined that the iPhone 14 Pro Max, now is this used? I believe, what am I trying to do? Is this used? Yeah, these are used. So let's look on used. Look at the difference in price. And I this is my first time doing it. I didn't rehearse this. So we on 14 Pro Max. So the 14 Pro Max B grade, which is most of the devices. This is a cracked one that sold for $414, which this makes more sense because if you think about it, a cracked model iPhone is going to sell for $414 if the person buying it can easily replace that back and is unlocked. It makes sense, right? But I personally, as a phone flipper, would never use eBay for a way to tell how much I'm paying because the prices are too sporadic. They're too up and down. But if you use market value, you start to see that, okay, the iPhone 14 Pro Max 128 B grade is worth $310, which means B grade is when that's the phone that we mostly get, right? A phone that has some wear and tear, no cracks, no scratches, but it does have a little, well, it has a little scratches, just no cracks. And that's going to be B grade. B plus grade is going to be a phone that is like new but doesn't have a box. A plus grade is going to be a phone that's like new but has a box. All right. Now, that's why you need a price list that gives you market value. It's important. All right. So we already went over a few things. We went over number one, you want to make sure that you understand what and how much you're going to need to actually start flipping phones. You're going to need at least $200 to $300. Number two, you want to make sure that you are making a certain amount of offers every single day. This is not a hobby. If you treat phone flipping like a hobby, it's going to treat you like you're literally giving half-ass, and it's not going to bring you a bunch of money. It's not going to help you when it comes to your financial journey for you growing wealth, right? So that's why you want to make sure that just like you clock in for your job, you want to clock in for phone flipping. Just like you may, if you are in the commission realm, have quotas, you want to give yourself quotas for your phone flipping business. If you're not giving yourself quotas, you're missing out, you're slacking, you're tripping like a transmission, and that's why you're not getting to where you want to go. All right? Quotas are very important. Now, the next thing I said was market value. Make sure that you are maintaining some type of flexibility to see how much phones are worth. That does not mean you have to pay just what the market value is, because as you guys could see, people will always offer you more, but it's always better safe than I would say it's always better to be safe by not overpaying. But if you do overpay, you know you're overpaying $50 more. So like if I know the iPhone 14 Pro Max 128 B grade is worth $310, maybe I'm like, all right, I probably could sell this on offer for $400. So what I'll do is I'll buy it for $350, $325, $345. Like going up a little bit above market value is okay. But when you go up too much, you start to lose, cut out on your own profit. And that's where you start to lose, okay? It's important. Now, what phones would I flip right now? So at this point in this time, literally this week, starting today, I would have been flipping iPhone 14 Pro, iPhone 15, and an iPhone 16, and an iPhone 14 Pro Max as well. Now, the reason I would flip these phones, now every phone I mentioned but the 16 is because with the iPhone 15, right? The iPhone 15 and the iPhone 14, those phones are usually on promotion right now. So when they're on promotion, I know for a fact that it's low cost of good for the person getting the phone, so they're not going to be demanding a high price, okay? Now, when it comes to the 16, I know that the 16 is also on promotion, and they have like the 16 on us deal with Verizon and T-Mobile. So I'm fine with that, and all I would do is I would look for phones, especially the 16 series, that I could buy for anywhere between $250 to $300. I could sell that to a wholesale buyer if I want a quick cash out, or what I would do is I would sell it to a consumer, because I know consumers over appreciate this type of model because it is a new device, and I would utilize finding a whole bunch of early adapters, which are people that want to buy products fast just off of impulse. Okay, those are the phones that I would buy. Now what I want to do, right, because we're coming close to 30 minutes, is I want to start actually doing some offers. I'm going to do 5 offers live right here. If you guys don't know, I do have my own community. If you join my community, you get a chance to do these with me, okay? And I'll walk you through your negotiations. I'll give you tips in your negotiations. This is the Hustler Community. You guys can get in literally right now. There are limited spots. This is a one-on-one mentorship, but it's also something that will help you push yourself even further. It gives you insight on how you can actually be better. You have to click this link on the website to get it for $50 because originally it is $99. So we go here, right? We go over to beacons, right? I want to actually click this one. I want to show y'all something. Now, I don't really utilize beacons, but I do utilize it. Let me do this because I want to show y'all the let me show y'all just a regular non-commercial way. Okay, so I wanted to show y'all the tiers, right? So if you go through the link in my bio, you can choose Hustler Starters membership. You can do the Hustler Growth tier, the Hustler Supply and Fulfillment. That's a whole different one. That's like eBay automation. This one right here, you don't want to do right now if you're a phone flipper. You want to do these two, right? The Hustler Growth tier or the Hustler Startup membership. This membership, the Hustler Growth tier, is $99. If you go through the website, the deal still is available, you can get it for $50. That's all I'm saying. But we're running out of those spots. Anyway, I digress. The main point that I'm trying to make, guys, is doing offers together is always going to be better. You're always going to see more success with that, and you're always going to be able to be motivated, especially when you have somebody doing it with you, and that's what I see. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up the price list on this other screen, and then we're going to start making these offers. If you don't know, when it comes to OfferUp, this is a site that I 9 times out of 10 trust to make my offers on. I make most of my money from OfferUp when it comes to me just flipping phones. The reason is because I found OfferUp has a bunch of hustlers like me, people looking to make bread, and they end up negotiating with me, and we go back and forth and we close deals. It's important to close deals. It's important to get the deals closed, and it's also important to have a community where, and I think OfferUp is this community where it embraces people, but it doesn't allow people to just become spammy and scammy, but it does embrace people enough to invite people that get phones on a consistent basis, without them having to worry like, oh, well, this is a hot platform. And what I mean, guys, is like eBay, prime example. This is a really good one. eBay, or even what's the other website? Oh, Facebook Marketplace. That Facebook Marketplace is hot. There's a lot of phone buyers that look on Facebook, but they will not ever see the real. How can I put this? They won't see the real. The people that get the phones from stores and stuff, they won't see them, okay? Because eBay, I keep saying eBay, because Facebook is heavily monitored. They do be restricting you, and these individuals don't really want to be restricted. They want to just be able to list and go about their day. So they tend to just go on OfferUp, and that's where I tend to go because I do like the fact that OfferUp gives people freedom. Now, yes, you run into some scammers in any type of facet, right? But what I like about OfferUp is that it gives me more of a newer aged buyer, okay, or seller, right? Because I sell and buy on there. Facebook gives me more so like I might be actually talking to an old lady that doesn't understand what an IMEI is, and she won't give me the IMEI because she don't know if I'm trying to scam her. I don't got time. Facebook gives me, oh yeah, like, can you give me your Facebook password so I can log in? Like, bro, what are you talking about? You trying to scam me? Like, that's the type of vibes Facebook gives me. Now, Facebook is good sometimes, right? But I find more consistent approaches that work on OfferUp. All right. All right, so let's do this. So number one, remember, I do 10 of these every single day, morning and night. Okay, you guys can do the same thing. Now, when I go on OfferUp, the first thing that I do is what I just did. I check off the shipping. I do not do any shipping. I don't want to buy from you and you ship me a phone. That is a setup, right? It doesn't even make sense. The next thing that I would do is if I already do these searches on a daily basis, they literally pop up, right? Like the phones just pop up. But if you're somebody that is new to this, you can go ahead and type in iPhone. Now, if you're somebody that is typing in iPhone or iPhone 14 Pro Max or iPhone 13 or iPhone 16, right? If I type in iPhone 16, let's see what pops up. What is going on? iPhone 16. Now, if I type in iPhone 16, I see people that's just selling phones. But see, some of you guys, what you'll see is wireless stores. You'll see wireless stores trying to finance phones. And they're like, yeah, just pay $49 down and we'll handle the rest and put it on finance and all that. A lot of people get frustrated because they're like, well, this is so saturated. All you got to do is type in iPhone and whatever model you want, or just iPhone, and you could type in locked. Okay? Locked or cracked back or low battery. Type in some type of defect. This phone stores won't ever have those keywords in their listings, and this could help you access real phone buyers. Okay, very important. All right, so next, the one thing that I'm gonna look for is I want to go ahead and get into that iPhone 15 range, right? Because the iPhone 15 is an old phone, but it's still valuable to people. And then I would check off. And I would do recent first. The reason I'm doing recent first is because I want to see the phone that is most recent, if that makes sense, right? What was just posted, okay? And as you guys see, people are definitely taxing, right? So I already see that, and my approach, honestly, would be to leave all of these ones alone. That's like a 700 because they're cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. But what I would do is I would open this up in the tab, open this one up in the tab. I would open up this one. Like the ones that are realistic, the ones that I know for a fact seem to be still in their rocker, right? Some people, they overprice because they want to try to catch people slipping and find that person that's ignorant and doesn't know how to, doesn't know how to basically negotiate. They want to find somebody that's just going to concede, right? Now, we don't do that. We actually weigh our options out, and we look and pay attention. Now, I am a big person that pays attention to detail. I can tell this is an iPhone that's sitting on an iPad case. That's not bad. I don't know why they chose a background that's the same color. You can see the smudges. You can see the dots, which means this is probably a B-grade phone, which is nothing wrong with it being a B-grade phone. But then I see a red flag. It says it's with AT&T only. Now, the problem with AT&T only devices is there's not a lot of people that have AT&T. And if you are somebody that is buying AT&T devices, that's great. But AT&T is having a hard time keeping people because of how bad of a company they are. I work with AT&T, I work with T-Mobile, I work with Verizon, and I work with Xfinity. But I would tell you AT&T is the worst company out of all of them, just because of the data breaches and the lack of security. And also the fact that a lot of people that are buying these phones and then trying to flip them, they don't tell you that a lot of these phones that they are trying to sell didn't pass the AT&T Next program, which is a program where people can upgrade earlier. But nevertheless, I see as AT&T, I'm automatically looking at it like, okay, I don't want this phone like as my thing is this phone can't be a priority because this phone is locked to AT&T, which I could probably sell, yeah, but it probably would take me some time. And if I'm being quite frank, it would really be a pain in the ass to unlock. So what I would say for this iPhone 15 Pro, I would say I can do. So I always let them know I can do. I don't talk about, hey, great weather today, right? Or I don't say, hey, where did you get the phone? I'm just saying what I can do, and then I tell you what I could do. And if you want to do it and you want to hash it out, great. If not, then I'm good, right? I'm never scared to walk away. That's rule number one in the negotiation process, which I break down in the community. And I drill this down with you so that you learn how to actually sell, learn how to negotiate, so that you can be the top negotiator that you know. Is I make sure never to be afraid to walk away. All right, so I could do, and I'm gonna just say I could do 275. I probably would do anywhere between 325 to 350, 360, but I'm starting low because this is an AT&T device. This person knows that, and if it's on AT&T, it's probably on an account. So that's what I'm gonna ask them. This is still on a account, right? Now, a lot of people that have AT&T, and if you're a phone flipper or somebody that has tried to flip phones, what I'm about to say, you probably have experienced. A lot of people that have phones with AT&T, they'll try to persuade you and say, oh, no, you could just get it unlocked, broski. I promise you, you can get it unlocked. Now, this person is listing it on a consistent basis. That's why I have another post with this same phone. So see, now he says AT&T only, not in a rush to sell and not looking to sell for a low price, so please don't bother. So what this tells me about this individual is they are indeed trying to literally sell this phone as fast as possible. They're trying to use a sales tactic that doesn't work, which is being indifferent. There's 4 factors of impulse with selling and negotiating, and guys, we go over them, and one of them is indifferent, and he's trying to act indifferent, but the problem with that is his sense of urgency is not matching, because he has a high sense of urgency, but then he's trying to seem laid back and like he doesn't really need to sell it. But if you didn't really need to sell it, it wouldn't be at the price it is. Because for you to say you're not trying to sell it low but list it really, really high is interesting. So we're not going to mess with that. And then we have another one. Another AT&T one. So again, a lot of people are leaving AT&T, so you're going to see a lot of AT&T phones. So again, I'm going to do the same thing. No iCloud lock, brand new phone, come and get it. So he's saying it's a brand new device for... That doesn't make sense. How is it brand new and this is the case? So that's another thing people do. They'll say it's brand new knowing that it's not. They'll say that it's brand new just to try and get you, right? I can do 290 no box question mark. That's it. So I always ask these questions because when you ask people questions while offering, they are more enticed to answer you. They're trying to get a sale just like you're trying to get a phone. So, you know, be very smart. You know, I see a box in this profile right here, so but I don't see a charger in the box. So that to me shows me that is just for pictures, for photos. He's saying it's new, T-Mobile. So T-Mobile phones are by far the best phones to buy. A lot of people have T-Mobile. All right, so they want $450. We definitely can't give them $450. I believe when we looked at the price list, it said the market value was like $350. So what we'll do is we'll tell them, again, I can do $290. Still on a account. Now, a lot of people may wonder, why am I saying is it still on the account? Like, what does that matter, B? So what it matters is if it's still in the account, we could take the price down even lower because we could say, hey, bro, I gotta get this off that account. I gotta pay my guy. So yeah, like let's lower the price. Now, sometimes they'll do it, sometimes they won't. Regardless, the main point is to make sure that we are setting ourselves up for success. We want to make sure that we are setting ourselves up for success. So we want to make sure that we are building with our bullet points to override objections. All right, so we see an iPhone 15 Pro Blue 128 unlocked. So this is an interesting price. And again, I'm just really telling you guys my mindset as I'm making these offers. I would already not do any type of offer. Just from this screen, looking at it like this, You probably can't see it really well, so let me scroll down a little bit. Right here it says Phone Repair Philly, which means this is a company that is a wireless store, and they obviously refurbish or try to refurbish. I wouldn't even say refurbish. They obviously just replace parts and in return try to sell it on OfferUp. But we just don't want to risk it, and also understand that other wireless stores aren't going to be as lenient and as open to negotiating as we would like. Like you'll see people iPhone 15 $3,000. Like that don't even make sense, right? I never asked, do you still have it? I never asked those silly questions, because all of those silly questions, if I'm being quite frank and honest, don't matter. I don't care if you have it or not. I'm making an offer. I just need to hit my quota. If you keep this mindset of hitting your quota of making 10 offers a day or 10 offers in the morning and night, you're going to stop caring emotionally how people respond to you. And instead, you're going to start caring, okay, well, let me just do these offers and go about your day. When they try to, how can I put it? When they try to devalue you, you're able to just quickly move past it. When they try to, because you have people that, I don't want to say when they try to reject you, because you sometimes have people that argue with you, people that literally will talk crap to you, and like some people can't take that. I can do like an iPhone 15 for $400 is absolutely insane. I could do $230, no box. Now, and understand, you guys got to really realize most of these offers, you're not getting anybody to say yes. Anybody. The point of the matter is to get your name out there. Let people know you buy phones, but also let them know you buy phones for the right prices. So understand that most of the offers that you first start off with, you're going to get objections. You're going to get people to say, well, no, I can't do it, or I'm not going to do it. And I might go live tomorrow morning with people that respond to what we're saying now to show you how they reject me. And they can reject me, but I also can show you when people have rejected me and then backtracked and like, oh no, can you do this? Can you do that? Can you do this, and this, and this, and that, and this, and this, and this, and that? Because see, what happens is people always end up conceding because they need me more than I need them. I don't need you. You need me. You cannot buy a double cheeseburger with a medium fry and a orange high C with your iPhone. You can't. You need me. Now, whether you know you need me right now, that's not my business. That's not my problem. That's yours. So we don't trip. We don't argue. I used to be a person that would argue all the time, y'all. I would argue all the time. And I would go ahead and argue and argue and argue until I've realized that you don't really get anywhere with that, because it's like we both drain each other of energy. So we don't got to do all of that. But nevertheless, guys, that is going to be the video for today. If you're just coming in, definitely rewind. I dropped some gems, some tools, in some ways, and best practices. I flip phones. I hope you guys have a great one. I got to put the little ones to bed. So that is what I'm about to do. I'll be going live again tomorrow. No questions asked at 8:15. Every day this week, 8:15. I'll be going live, dropping gems. And tomorrow, again, I'll be talking about how I actually sell phones on OfferUp and my full walkthrough of how I sell phones. So not how I acquire them, but actually how I sell them, right? How do I sell to consumers? Because I talk a lot about selling to buyers, but how do I sell to consumers? How do I sell to people, that everyday people that want phones, okay? Other than that, do I got anything motivational to talk about? I do. I actually will always have something motivational because I know it's somebody out there that may need it. And today I just want to talk about the fact that sometimes you can allow yourself to do less. sometimes, and I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Y'all wanna know what happened? I'll tell you what happened. Y'all wanna know what happened? All right, I'll tell you what happened. So, if you watch me and you've been a part of my YouTube channel for a while, you know that I'm really big on like, yo, I gotta do better. Right? So, I'm about to tell y'all some personal stuff, right? So, yesterday, I stayed up way too late. Just on some dumb stuff. Like I stayed up way too late. And I'm talking about like way too late. Because you guys got to remember, I have children and I have to get them to school in the morning. So I got to wake up at like 5 a.m. to get them to school regardless. So, but I stayed up until like 3 a.m. Just dumb. Just dumb. I don't want to say what I was doing, but I was just being dumb. Okay? And I stayed up that long, and I looked at the clock. I'm like, yo, bro, I only got 2 hours of sleep. Now, trust me, that ain't nothing when you know you got your own business and all of that. I get it. But then when you are ultra competitive and you want to wake up better every day, you tend to think in the back of your head, like, shit, I got to get up. I got to do this. I got to go here. I got to go check on that. I got to do this. So I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, fuck. I'm like, yo, I'm drawing, like, how am I going to get up in the morning? Right? So, because you know how you had that feeling where you're up so late, but you're not tired? That's how it was, right? So I'm like, damn, like, I don't know what I'm going to do. So what I ended up doing was I ended up not waking up. So I went to sleep, I woke up, 5 a.m. or whatever. Took my kids to school. Then after that, I was like, damn, it's a wrap ski for me. Like, I can't do nothing. Like, I'm tired, right? I wanted to go live, and I had a meeting that I needed to do, but I was like, yo, I'm so tired. So I went to sleep. I laid down. I didn't wake up until 12 p.m. I've never in my life woke up that late. I can't remember me ever waking up that late. So when I woke up that late, I thought to myself, damn, bro, like, you on some bum, like you're a bum. Like, that's how I felt. When I woke up, I felt like I was a bum. And, like, my main point of this, right, is I could have been like, all right, today is a waste, right? Every day I have a checklist and I have a list of what I need to do. Like, every day. Like, every day I know what I got to do. So I look at the list that I got to do, and I'm like, damn, like, this thing pretty long. And I done slept 4 hours away, so I'm like, right? But I got up and did it. And I actually did it faster than I do usually. Point of the matter is, right, is we're all given opportunities to be mediocre or opportunities to be better. We're also always given opportunities to exceed expectations or just to be regular. See, the problem is a lot of people want to be successful and they want to grow and build, but they don't necessarily want to do what it takes to be better. And we have to wake up at moments and realize that no matter what circumstances or what cards were handed that day, we have the option to actually do better. A lot of us, we mess up. We make mistakes and we fail at times, but we have that opportunity to be better. So when you are handed those cards that you feel are not in your favor, don't give up, right? Because giving up is the only way you fail. Giving up is the only way you fail. I just want you to remember that. All right? So, guys, thank you so much for watching, man. Thank you, everybody on TikTok as well. I've seen some familiar faces on here, and I really appreciate it. And I will see you guys later in the next video. When it comes to everything, that's tough. I went live for 70 hours. But anyway, I appreciate you all, and I will see you guys in the next video. And guys, if you're watching this back, man, don't ever hesitate to comment if you have any questions. All right, guys? I'll see you guys later.